He's an All-American linebacker, ready for his final season at North Carolina. Kaimon Rucker is an explosive and fierce competitor who is primed to be a top choice in next year's NFL Draft. His on-field prowess earned him a unique nickname.
So freshman year, you play with such physicality that you get the nickname Kaimon the Butcher.
Tim Cross, the defensive line coach, said of Kaimon Rucker, he said, he's a rolling ball of butcher knives. A rolling ball of butcher knives.
The announcers enjoyed it, and so, we shortened it down to the butcher, stuff like that, and, that's kind of how the whole persona came, just off of that one compliment.
By his sophomore season, Kaimon was rolling along, making an enormous impact for the Tar Heels and gaining national notoriety. However, in the spring, before his junior season, doctors determined Kaimon had a torn meniscus in his left knee and would need surgery.
Outwardly, his confidence and toughness were unmatched. Inwardly, a bout with anxiety and depression threatened to derail his entire career.
The anxiousness of not being able to display what kind of player I am during the spring at the time, where they were going to place me on the field, the way that classes were going, I wasn't lifting as much as I wanted to. There was just so many different things. It was a whole whirlwind of emotions at that time. So I was feeling high levels of anxiety. I was depressed for a little bit at that time as well.
Kaimon's tough persona on the field made asking for help difficult.
I started to realize that I internalized a lot of things because of my mindset, because that I always wanted to push through things, because I was always determined. I've done that to an unhealthy amount, to the point where I just was a shaken up soda bottle at the time. I was just at any given moment, I could explode in terms of just I could cry, I could get upset for no reason. I was just in that mode where I was I couldn't figure out where I was.
Kaimon grew up in a Christian home, so he knew where to turn when things were tough.
I had to be real with myself and understand it. It was just I don't need to play football. I play football. It's just I'm separate from what my sport is. With the realization of that, I had to fall back on my faith, really fall back to what really gave me peace, what really gave me reconciliation of who I am as a person, and just understanding is if all things were to fail, if all things were to crash down, who can I definitely give my love to? And I was Jesus.
Fundamentals have been key to Kaimon's success on the field, and he realized he needed to brush up on some other necessities.
I had to really get back into the Word. I had to get back to start praying. I had to get back to these things, even though these are small things that even as Christians often look over, those were things and stuff I had to get back to doing, because these little things is what caused me to have big jumps in my life, to have big jumps in my success, in my accolades and things of that nature.
I saw a video of you being baptized on social media. How special was that moment?
That was a very special moment. That was the first time I've ever gotten baptized. I feel like this was kind of my first jump into really professing my faith because I wanted to. That was a moment that I will never forget. The baptism wasn't just for me. This was for other people to realize it's okay to profess your faith. And being a D1 football player, there's going to be a whole bunch of things that's happening around you, but that doesn't mean that you still can't profess your faith. That doesn't mean you can't be true to who you are. That doesn't mean you can't be you. And so I wanted to just really set that tone for the rest of the team.
As he begins his final season at North Carolina, Kaimon knows that in a few short months, if all goes well, he will hear his name called in the NFL Draft. Of all the highs and lows he's experienced, Kaimon has a simple message for others.
I want to fulfill whatever purpose God has for me, whether that is in NFL, whether it's not, whether that's in somewhere else. But we sometimes as Christians, we have to be real with ourselves. You have to be real with God. God said, come as you are. You don't ever get clean to get into a shower. You know what I'm saying? You got to get into the shower dirty in order to clean yourself. That's how you got to come to God. So it's just that's when you got to put your faith in him, and that's why the faith means the world to me, because I can go to God however way I am.